Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Damian, and this is Ampocalypse. Today, I'm joined by Myke Terry of the incredible band Volumes. Their brand new record, Mirror's Touch, is out now, both digitally and physically, marking, I think, album number 5. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's quite a huge moment for the band. 15 years of your career. Like, first of all, how does that feel? 15 years when you think back on it as a, well, you know, the band existing.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't feel like 15 years. It's kind of wild to think that it's been going on for this long, really. It's really crazy. Yeah, it's an incredible feeling to be able to still be a band and just to be able to be sticking around and see music change over the years. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it always freaks me out when records that I used to really dig when I thought, I say in my 20s, and then they do the 20th anniversary of, and I'm just like, right, I'm
Yeah.
not down with the kids anymore. It's terrifying.
Yeah, man, it makes
Anyway,
you feel old.
anyway, we're going to dive into the record, the sounds, the themes, and what point the band volumes are at, and what it really
Okay.
means to them. Following this, we've then talked about the riff and the melodies, and we'll see how Myke survives when the sirens sound and the world disappears in a flash of a nuclear fire in his very own Ampocalypse. So let's get started. So
Okay.
to start off, as I've already mentioned, it's 15 years into volumes, and now Mirror Touch. I keep saying Mirror's Touch, Mirror Touch out in the world, physically and digitally. How did that moment, you know, compare to the previous album cycles?
Oh, well, this one, I feel like our anticipation in the band was really high to have this finally be finished. And, we worked really hard to get this album together and just to get it to a point where we could share it with everyone. And then we were told that we were going to be able to have actual physical copies. It's just kind of like, oh man, it's the icing on the cake because a lot of times most releases they go to maybe vinyl or they don't really go to CD very much anymore. So it's cool that we're able to have that physical, tangible thing that we're able to like hold on to and say, this is the product of our 4 years of hard work.
Cool. Now, you've already like touched on the fact that there is like the physical. So this record was released digitally in December,
Mhm.
and the physical one in February. Now, how did it feel? Like you've already said, you didn't know you were going to get that the physical copy. So
Yeah.
what happened there? Because I'm still old school. I still like my CDs, even though a realization I've got, I don't actually have a disk drive anywhere unless I count my PlayStation. I bought a
Right.
new
Yeah.
laptop and it's gone.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy. It's become an obsolete form. I think all the I like to play CDs on my Xbox, so it's kind of like I'm kind of in the same spot with you. Like I don't my laptop doesn't have a CD drive anymore. It's kind of crazy. So I think it just makes it more special that we took the time to, even though it's not as popular of a form to listen to music on, I feel like the people who collect music and like the purists, they'll appreciate it. And, it's kind of like our nod to them and just to say thank you and that because we feel the same way as well. So it's like we're sticking together kind of thing.
Cool. Now, of course, physical media, I'm not going to say it's on its way out, but how, we consume music has
Yeah.
drastically changed since sort of the download generation. I'll say Napster sort of started it all
Yeah, dude.
in an illegal but very revolutionary way.
Yeah.
And I myself, I kind of feel like I was bullied into the download generation, even though Amazon exists and stuff like that. But I couldn't go down to my local record shop anymore because it was gone.
Right.
So I sort of sunk into it. What's your feelings personally on, you know, the, I suppose the, not downgrade, that's the wrong word, but the disappearance of physical media and it's become more, digital is the standard, physical is the bonus. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel kind of like I agree with you, man. I hate it. I mean, it's just. I mean, maybe this is me dating myself, but records and CDs and even tapes, that was like when I started playing music, we recorded onto a tape player, like with a tape player. So it's like you go from that and just it's like it was like a labor of love kind of thing, having the physical music, the product, because that's like the culmination of all your hard work. Now it's like it's cool to get music, have music come out, but it's like I don't really feel the same thrill that I do as with having CDs, because there was like usually a campaign, and like you had to do sound scans and like fill out paperwork every Thursday. Like it was a ritual to make sure, like it was a labor, it was a labor of love to have an album
Yeah.
out. So because it wasn't just like, oh, you put this music out and it just goes into space. No, you were physically carrying these boxes of CDs that you're getting shipped to the venues or to your house every week, and you're slugging them around wherever, selling them at the merch table. You're able to sign them, be like people are touching them, and like that form of communication and that interaction is now gone, or more so. So I don't know, I miss it. And I do appreciate where we are now, but I feel like music is too accessible too quickly now. And like you can go anywhere and get music, and it's any song anywhere, anytime. You don't have to wait. Everyone's just kind of like, what's the word? Spoiled, I
It's just
guess. I
fast.
feel like.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
sort of
just
very
crazy.
fast consumption.
Yeah, man, it's just like you don't really take the time to relish an album anymore. It's just, what singles are we gonna do? What is this? Like, how are we gonna, that's just like, I didn't, when I got into music, it was to take the ride, and like enjoy the journey, not just have, like processing line, like cut paste, boop, 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 be very, very packaged,
Yeah.
very like, it's not, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of cheap right now. I feel like sucks
Yeah.
to say.
I mean, one of the bonuses I do see is, smaller bands, more unknown artists are able to get their music out there. And whilst that's a good thing, there's those beautiful things called algorithms, which still gets in their way a little bit. So
Yeah, man.
swings and roundabouts, but
And I don't really appreciate that shit either, because it's like this unseen hand controlling who gets control of who gets to hear music and that kind of stuff. Like it shouldn't be like some computer somewhere doing binary code to figure out who deserves to have a career. I think that's bullshit, I
yeah,
That's not how it should be. And like, and I personally, I don't really feel like bands should be able to have it that easy. It shouldn't be easy enough to fucking just one day you're in your bedroom writing a track, and then 100 million people hear your song the next week. I don't think that that's fair. Like, well, it's fair, but it's just like I f and maybe it's just because I feel like, you got to put the work in. It's just like there's
yeah,
no one has to try anymore. And it's just like, we've been doing it, like you said, 15 plus years. And it's like we had to try, like, and actually put the boots on the ground and go out there and go get it. Whereas it's kind of just spoon fed to people nowadays. And I don't really appreciate that.
yeah.
Not hating on
As,
anyone that
as,
if that happens to you, all power to you. I'm not a hater. I appreciate it, but I just feel, it's something to be said. I just, for my own personal say, I would have more pride personally, working hard to get it, and
yeah,
just instead of just waking up and then you're on top of the world.
yeah. I mean, as I said, I think there's sort of pros and cons, and good points on both sides. To be fair,
Right. Yeah.
now I understand Mirror Touch. It marks quite a significant new chapter for the band. Now that it's out, and you've had the chance for fans to react and sit down with them. You're on tour at the moment. You've been able to play some of the songs that may not have been played pre-release. What does this new era of volumes mean to you, and how have the new songs actually been received by people hearing them live for the first time? Because for me, it's the live environment that really makes a song pop.
Yeah. We've only played a couple. Actually, we've played one show so far on the new cycle. Right now, we're gearing up to leave for tour. Tour starts in 3 weeks for Volumes. But just in rehearsals and then the practices and the videos I've seen, and just It's gonna be awesome, man. Like this is the energy that we're bringing with the new set because we are incorporating all albums, the whole like whole discography, all the way back to the EP that the long lost EP. We're playing stuff off of
Yeah,
there. Off of Via.
cool.
So it's cool. Like it's very visceral, and I really think that the fans are going to be they're going to be really happy with what this the kind of energy that we bring in. It's just yeah, it's just like a new hunger in the band. This album kind of like sparked some stuff in us that's just like kind of gave us a breath of fresh air and like a second wind to like really go after and just like it reminded us personally of who we are as a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. And obviously you're gearing up for the US tour. For
Yeah.
me, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, but I've not seen anything about a UK tour. But that's something that's going to
Uh,
be good for me.
I know,
I'm not
man.
bothered
We're
about
work.
America. I'm not there.
Yeah, I know. I would have been. You're like, yeah, this all sounds good. But what about the UK? Yeah, we're working on it. We're putting some stuff together. Hopefully by the end of the year. We got a lot of ground to cover, so we got well, that's it. The plan is to play as much as possible, but it always ends up we always end up in Europe in the fall. We have yet to play Europe in the summer or UK in the. Oh, that's not true. We played a couple shows in the summer once, but so we'll probably be in the snow
Yeah,
hanging out again. So fingers crossed we'll be doing it soon.
yeah. To be fair, if you come to the UK and play in the summer, you'd be like, wait a minute, isn't this autumn? Like this is
Yeah,
like what's going on
yeah,
here? Where's the
yeah.
sun? We get like
True.
2 days of sun, one day
Yeah,
if you're in Scotland.
yeah. Oh
Now,
man,
let's
yeah.
talk some of the. Sorry, didn't catch that.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry. So let's talk some of the songs on the record. And for me, it's quite a diverse record. There's lots of different styles that work quite nicely together. And we're going to start off by looking at Soap, which I believe was the last single that came out. Was that correct? Or am I wrong
I
about that?
think. Man, I think so. I feel like they all
Yeah.
came out so fast. It's hard to keep up with which one was which came
Yeah.
first. And the only thing I know is Sidewinder came first. That's as far as I know. I
Yeah.
know that.
So this one's got like an industrial tinged production to it. That, there's scream verses, melody interplay, and a massive breakdown. It is such a kick-ass tune. What made this the right track to sort of end with before like the rest of the record came out?
I guess we kind of when we approached like how we were gonna do our releases, we wanted to, Uh, first, let fans know we're still here. We can still keep it heavy. That's why we released Sidewinder, because everyone, the first thing if I feel like we did this in the past where we released a not as heavy track, and it was almost like almost annoying and deafening as like, guys, this is just the first single. We're just putting it out there. You get one extreme to the next. Volumes is gonna we're gonna do it. We're gonna take you on the full journey. So just hang in there with us. Just since we didn't want to hear any of that, we're just like, we just wanted to guys keep it raw, the essence of the band, like, because we knew what we had in store with all of the songs. We were just like, let's just give them the heavy one and then we'll just take it from there and just how we kind of just at one point I felt like we were like putting names in a hat and be like which one are we going to do next and see if we wanted to like go really soft with like the adrenaline or dream or or something like that, so like it was kind of it was just all like how the mood was we were all feeling at the time. It's kind of how the last three fell into place.
Cool. Now, as I said, the album, like, it's got lots of different styles to it, and it does move quite stylistically. So,
Mhm.
as opens with Sidewinder, like a metaphorical kick to the nuts. It's intense. It's like
Yeah.
really good, and that's continued by Bottom Dollar.
Mhm.
And for the proper headbangers out there, it's heavy. It's got roars. It's got the riffs. It's got everything like severe headbangers love. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, it's Bad Habit, California, Adrenaline, and it's a very tonal shift,
Yeah.
which I don't know, weirdly it shouldn't work, but somehow it really does within the confines of the record.
Yeah.
What made you want to sort of like, I suppose, pull these very different styles of like rock and metal together? Like, and bounce between them so noticeably?
I think just I think it's just like amalgamation of just is what we're into. Like all of the guys bring all of those elements into the table, you know, and so it's going to come out in the music. And you know, and I think once we had made all of these songs, and then we were just like, all right, well, how do we make these make sense? Like what, you know, what is the you couldn't just there has to be a start, there has to be a middle, and there has to be an end. And this is like what are the points that we wanted to convey throughout the whole album. And we wanted to start strong and finish strong, you know. That's kind of like what we wanted to do is with this album is, you know, and I guess maybe that's a nod to the state of the band. It's like, you know, we started strong, and if this happens to be the last album, then we finish strong. Not saying that it is before anyone starts freaking out,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's anything could happen. You could walk outside and fucking anything could happen. So it's like, and especially, you know, given the things that have happened in this band, for sure, you expect one iteration of the band to be one way, and then the next day you wake up and somebody's gone. So, you know, it just that makes you look at life differently. And so when we were writing the album, we kind of wanted to take the same approach, where it's a more of a like more thought out kind of, well, if this is a, you know, how do we want to what do we want to say, and then we just we wanted to kick you in the nuts in the beginning and slap the shit out of you at the end, and then hug you and kiss you in the middle, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what, you know, it's kind of
yeah,
how it played out.
yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. That like really does sound like how the record goes,
Yeah.
and you know, it's I've forgotten the point I was going to make. That was it. But if the band was to end tomorrow, it is one hell of a legacy to go out on. Like,
Yeah.
and here's me stroking the ego of you, Mike. But it
Oh,
is a
thank you, I
terrific
appreciate it.
record.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
It's
nice,
you know, we
cool.
really like you know, it's we really worked hard on it, and like the guys were like you know, kudos to the dudes. We are like we really like, you know, focused on it. I think we really concentrated, whereas not saying that we didn't concentrate on the last album on Happier, but it was just we were all I feel like the band wasn't focused and unified as it was on this album's process, and I feel like that's kind of come out in the music, honestly.
Yeah, no, as I said, it definitely does. Now I want to just touch on Suffer On, which features Black Sheep Wall. What
Yeah.
did bringing that collaboration into the world of Mirror Touch add to the atmosphere when recording it?
Oh man, I think it just made it filthy. It made it just. I think it turned the album to a dark, disgusting masterpiece. Honestly, those guys are super talented. We love those dudes so much, and it was just like, as a fan of the band, um, over the years of Black Sheep Wall, you know, it's just the element of like terror and fear that they bring to their music is just like to have that put into our music as well. It was just like I felt like it was just the perfect blend, like and the most, you know, poignant way to go out. Like it's just like, you know, all balls to the wall at this point. We leave nothing on the table, just smash it all.
Well, it certainly did that, sir. Now, whenever I ask someone what's your favourite record on the album, it's a bit of a tricky one to ask. So I'm going to sort of say, you know, what's the song from the record that you're looking forward to most bringing to the live environment? Because obviously there might be a
Mm.
favourite track, but at the end of the day, they're all your babies at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's like, you're my
yeah.
favourite kid. But what is the song that you think is going to get the audience absolutely tearing each other apart?
I
In the
mean, for
best
sure,
possible way, of course.
Suffer On for sure. I think that one is gonna be that one's gonna be a lot of fun to play. So far, it's shaping up in rehearsals is pretty nice. So, you know, we were debating on whether we were going to do it just because, yeah, Suffer On, Adrenaline for sure, which is, you know, it's one of the softer ones. But if we do end up playing that one, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And Stitch probably, Stitch would be a good one. I think that we're gonna probably end up
Yeah.
playing. That's nice.
I'd say Stitch would be the song I would look forward to most hearing live because
Yeah,
that
that's
is
the
an
horny one. You
absolute
get all
banger.
everyone worming around and doing the
Yeah,
move and stuff. Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah. It'll just be like the metal version of that scene in the Matrix movie where everyone dancing in the cave. It'll be
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
man.
It'll be intense, man.
Yeah, that'd be if we could recreate
Anyway,
that, that would be sick.
I'll be up for that. We'll
Yeah,
get Keanu Reeves, get Dogstar to
yeah,
support exit, perhaps,
that'd be
it'll work.
awesome.
It could work.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, we have talked about the record, we've talked about the riff, the melodies, and 15 years of volume. Now, do you know what? It's time to press that red button. The sirens are
Okay.
going off, the sky lights up, and civilization, like my ability to actually say more syllables than two, is now gone. I'm welcoming you to your own personal apocalypse. This
Okay.
time, things have gone nuclear. We've got
Okay.
bunkers, makeshift camps, and perhaps a few people that may not be entirely human anymore due to radiation. So we're going to see how you survive, or if you will even survive.
Okay.
So, the first question. The blasts happen, and you've got a few seconds to decide. Are you heading to a government bunker, building your own camp, or just grabbing the mic and accepting your fate with a final scream?
Uh, I mean, for the sake of what's going on, I'll say we're gonna build our own bunker. We're gonna do our own thing.
Fair. Fair. Now, this is an important one. Which member of Volumes is the MVP in the nuclear wasteland, and who is absolutely not getting out alive from this situation, and why?
I'm gonna make it for sure. I'm gonna be MVP. Who's not gonna make it? Oh man. uh, I'm gonna say Rod. I don't think Rod gonna make it. He's a man of
You
creature
got
comforts. He loves being comfortable, man, you know. I think he'd be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. But I don't know. It could go either way. I don't know.
But why are you the MVP, man? Like, what makes you the survivor against all the odds?
Dude, I'm like a roach, man. You can't, it's hard to get on me, man. I don't ever get sick. I'm old and shitty, man. I'm just pickled. My insides are pickled, dude. I don't know. I like outdoor stuff. And I like to like camp and be, chilling in the elements. And I like being in the shit. So I feel like I could take it.
Fair. Now, of course, supplies are low. What's your elite wasteland ration that keeps morale high when everything tastes like canned regret?
Uh, mm, Buttered popcorn. Yeah.
That's fair. See, I go with
Yeah,
sweet
I really
popcorn.
like
Sweet.
popcorn. So yeah, popcorn. I think we're gonna have popcorn as a treat because it's you can have it. You can keep it forever. The little kernels they keep for forever. So that's gonna last for a while, and they make a great snack, and they're healthy, and they're good for it's good nutrition. So
Do you know, in retrospect, I don't think anyone's come up with that. As long as you've got corn, you can make
hmm
popcorn. It's that simple.
yeah, you can make
I think
you
you've
can
hit
make
survival
liquor.
on the head. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can make all kinds of things with corn.
Mike, you're definitely the MVP. If it happens and I'm stateside,
I
I'm
got you,
sticking near
Doc.
you because
Yeah, man, we're together. We're gonna. I'll see us through. Don't worry.
nice. Now, you're going to encounter a group of survivors. They seem friendly, but they're
Okay.
clearly a little mutated. We're thinking Fallout style. At what point do you decide, nope, backing away?
Immediately, no mercy. No, immediately.
But what happens
We're
if
here to
they're carrying like
survive.
the
We're.
sorry,
It's
cat
all
food
good.
went off. You can see I can see it down there. Um,
Yeah, he's
yep, it
he's
is
getting it,
time.
getting
They
to it.
are. Nice. Sorry
It's
about
awesome.
that.
Oh, it's
But what
awesome. I
happens
love
if
it.
they're carrying the last physical copy of Mirror Touch? Would you have a different approach?
Hey, man, I'd say turn it on. That's about to be the soundtrack to go see the big guy upstairs. They gotta go.
Cool.
They gotta go. I'm not
Now,
mutated and they're mutated. Oh no, they gotta go. 'Cause I don't
that's
want to be
fair.
mutated.
I
I'm
can
trying to
get on board with that.
live. They gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go.
What happens if all they want is a bit of popcorn?
Even worse, that's me and my tribe's snacks, man. I'm not. This is not mutated popcorn snack. It's not for the mutated folks. It's for us, man. So
You
I
are a
don't know.
true
We'll see.
survivor.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
a true survivor. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I've seen too many movies where it just goes very south. You help out too much, and it comes back to bite you in the ass. So we're not
Very
doing that.
true. Now, every bunker needs music. Are volumes playing
Yeah.
the heaviest set possible to scare off the raiders, or are you bringing out the melodic tracks to keep hope alive underground?
We're gonna. I have to go with want to bring out the melodic tracks because it's already a lot of stress in the world, and we don't need to keep morale too high. It's a lot of energy. Now you're wasting all my calories, and then now my corn stash was going low. So to keep the corn stash high, got to keep the morale at an even keel. That way they're not burning up the calories. So we're running a tight ship. If you see where I'm going with this.
Oh, definitely. Do you know what? Even though I've dropped these questions on you, it feels like you've properly thought them through. This is kick-ass.
Yeah, I have. I
Final
mean.
question.
I thought about it like a few times. You smoke a little weed, you start thinking about the end times and long thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final question. You can save one item from the old world. Will it be a microphone, a hard drive full of memories, or one just completely ridiculous luxury item? You've already called popcorn, but you can have something else. What's coming with you into the fallout?
Ooh. What was the second thing?
A
What was the
hard
second
drive full of
option?
memories. So photos of loved one, music, videos, things like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hard drive. Yeah. Because as much as it would be painful to watch, because probably 90% of that all they are just that memory, so people in that, so that would be kind of painful to relive, but you know, I think that would be fuel to keep going. So we'd go with the hard drive.
Yeah. And considering how prepped you are, I'm fairly sure you've got a generator and some sort of way to play those memories. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
good
yeah.
call.
We're already
Good
locked
call.
in.
Nice. Mike, I have to say, you have definitely survived your own apocalypse in this scenario. You've been probably one of the most sensible people I've ever come across. That still puts a laugh into the situation, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much for joining me on Ampocalypse today. It's been an
Of
absolute
course.
pleasure. Good luck with the rest of the tour. Can't wait to see you over in the UK and Europe. Sir, it's been a blast.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much for
much,
having
man.
me, man. Yeah, thank
Cheers.
you so much.